Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Daily Market Report brought to you by Mike Bjork. Today is Wednesday, Hump Day, March 23rd. Although, shout out to my mother. It's her birthday today. And let's get started with the economic news releases today. Excuse me. Let me get that one out. New home sales are down. So this whole week has been kind of not so good news for the housing market. So everything's been kind of down this whole week with regards to home sales. We do got the GDP report later this week, so that's going to be some big news for us to watch. Stock market's down. There some reports are coming out that this quake that happened in Japan a week and a half ago could cost up to $308 billion. That's actually twice the amount of what the Kobe one cost back in 1995. So this is obviously becoming one of the most expensive disasters ever in the history of the world. And also, of course, more reports coming out, food and water being contaminated by radiation. So a lot of they're recalling a lot of the food that were grown in that area due to radiation contamination or poisoning. So obviously, other some of that stuff is starting to be shipped out to other countries, being recalled, as well as of course their own people domestically. So unfortunately for these folks, let's keep our hearts and prayers out for these people. Hopefully things will turn out in a more positive light for them, as well as other places like Libya and everywhere else. So I mean, we're all kind of in a financial quagmire here. So BofA, they got rejected by the Fed on raising their dividends. A few weeks ago, the banks went to the Fed and requested permission to be able to raise their dividends for their shareholders, and so they were going through the stress test, and apparently BofA must not have passed the stress test by the Fed, so they were just recently rejected for it. Portugal was up for austerity measures, as we've been seeing. Portugal has been mentioned for nearly a year now about bailout programs right now, and so right now they need to hopefully they need to pass these measures that regards for austerity being pushed by the EU for them to be able to give them money to bail them out on their debt programs here. So hopefully things work out there. So let's take a look here at the bond market. As we saw, we had a drop yesterday. Yesterday we did have an opening gap upwards today, but since then it's been coming down. So we're kind of in the process of closing this gap that we had here. As we can see, we have this little tip here. We have this little tip here. So we're kind of in the process of closing. We do have this kind of slight downward trend right now. We'll probably keep to the upper trend line of that. As a friend of mine who used to be a trader here, it was Dan Rawich, basically thinks we'll keep to the upper part of the trend line, but probably start going in a sideways pattern before we build up enough steam to go upwards a little bit. So from what I see, with the economic news, we should actually have a lot more impact with the bond market. So, but I think he might be right in this situation here. All right, folks, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.